Mexico has been a huge part of my life for the last 4 years. Over 160 videos, 23 states, countless gorditas, and let's not forget, one infamously diabolical pizza. It's time to revisit Mexico City one last time as I bid farewell to Mexico, heading towards the end of 6 years of full-time travel. In this video, we're heading back to some OG icons from the early days, discussing how my views on Mexico have changed immensely. From Chihuahua to Morelos, from Durango to Tlaxcala. I never believed Mexico was the often portrayed utopia. There's good, there's bad, and there's ugly. Attributes I've always intended to portray without smoke and mirrors. Despite being amazed and frustrated by Mexico in equal measures, I've learnt to know Mexico through the eyes of a local as best as humanly possible. No Mexican wears rose-tinted glasses, and neither should you. It's time to see things out in style. Are you ready for Mexico's exit storyline? So hi everyone, and after that lengthy, overly dramatic intro, it's time for my final ever video in Mexico. I say ever, what I really mean is for the foreseeable future. And there is someone doing a TikTok over there, brilliant. Today I'm at the Ángel de Independencia, an icon, a legacy character, an OG character from the beginning of Mexico, going back many years. Look around me. This personifies Mexico City. We have the Ángel up there. And today I want to take you on a little trip around some of those legacy iconic characters from day one and talk a little bit about how Mexico has changed for me over the years, having now visited 23 states over the last 4 years. This should be easy, right, compared to the north. Let's get going. So let's take a little walk around the Angel. I think anyone who knows Mexico City or anyone who is thinking of coming here for the first time will know that this monument and this area is a little bit like how I would see like Big Ben in London or the Empire State Building in New York. You know, it's that kind of iconic location which really personifies Mexico City. Obviously, independence of Mexico, hugely important in Mexican history, and all over Mexico you have monuments like this indicating the independence. And of course, as you can see, we've got people taking photos. We've got people doing TikToks. As I said, it's a great place where people come actually to kind of gather, like even like young people, like teenagers will come here and just chill out. And down the road you've got like Chapultepec Park, which is where we're going to go in a second, or the Centro Historico is up that way. You've got these tourist buses. You can tell my excitement in my voice, right? Okay, this crossing bit, like the road, you might say that it's a little bit like down the Champs-Élysées and the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, but it's nothing like that. It's not as bad, you know. In Paris, cars all over the place, very difficult to cross, but here it's actually okay, so don't be scared. It's like London, red buses everywhere, of course. You've got all these photographic displays as well. This one is to do with Oaxaca, down in the south. But there is one that I have particularly come to find. I'm not sure where it is, but let's look for it. While we're looking, this road, Paseo de la Reforma, is, I believe, closed on a Sunday. So there's like bike riding. We've got all these cows at the moment. Something to do with Lala milk. Obviously from Torreon in Coahuila, where I have spent a significant amount of time. Got these colourful cows all the way down and also further back as well. I was down here for Desfile Dia de Muertos many years ago, the parade for Day of the Dead, which was cool, although a little bit commercial, to be honest. There are better places you can go for Dia de Muertos. 90 years of that bus company, Primero Plus. My 4 years of Mexico travel over the last 4 years would not have been possible without the excellent bus infrastructure in Mexico. The chaos of Mexico City, one thing I will miss actually. Chaos in a good way, I mean. Look at that gorgeous fountain. Yeah, this area of Mexico City, it is like just any kind of centre of any downtown in any capital city, you know. Close to all the touristy areas, Condesa, Roma, Juarez, Zona Rosa. So it's a good place to be if it's your first time here, I've got to say, even though I normally stay in places like Iztapalapa. Brilliant. to say about this video is that before, during and after, so I'm going to touch on my views on Mexico before I came here, during, and as I'm leaving now, kind of after. My views of Mexico, I feel, have always been slightly different to some, particularly those from North America. You know, I'm from the UK. I didn't have all that mainstream media, shock, surprise, oh my god thing that many YouTubers do rely on, but I do get it. I do get why they would feel like that. Mexico at the beginning was always kind of about wonder. You know, I remember posting a photo of Teotihuacan on my Facebook when I used Facebook, what is it, 2012? Thinking, you know, I'm going to be in Mexico during this 6 years of long-term travel, and obviously I spent a lot of time here. I didn't plan on coming back 8 times, but whatever. It wasn't a country which I had this perception of around crime, danger, immigration issues, you name it. I didn't have that at all. We'll come back to the during in a little bit. Well, the next legacy location was meant to be Parque Chapultepec, but as per pretty much everything in Mexico all the time, it's closed. I don't know why. Yeah, I've made a few jokes about everything being closed in Mexico recently. We're just gonna have to cope with it, all right? It's a big park. I did a video there years ago. Iconic. Okay, I'm back down, Reforma, and I think I'm onto something. I found more of these art things. That's Chiapas, one of the 9 states I haven't been to. San Luis Potosí, brilliant. Here we are. We have the legendary Guaymas Sonora. Okay, Turismo con Pau from Ciudad Obregón told me about something down here which I have to see. Tlapan Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec snake god, also the Quetzalcoatlus, I think I'm probably pronouncing all of this wrong. The flying dinosaur from Jurassic World Dominion, the one that attacks the plane, was named after the Aztec snake god. The weather is a bit shit. It always is in Mexico City, particularly around this time, like 6 o'clock. Clouds start coming over, sometimes you get that monsoon rain, you know, and having been in the north of Mexico for 4 months, oh my god, I didn't see as much as a cloud for that entire time. So being out in crappy weather and grey skies and a bit of rain now and again is actually quite refreshing. I need to slow down a bit. I've got dolor de corazón, heart pain, that's not good. I'm sure it'll be fine. Slow down, David. I'm in another icon, Parque Alameda, heading towards Palacio de Bellas Artes and Torre Latinoamericano, or is it Americana? The big tower, right? Heading towards Centro Historico. And onto the during point, right? So I said about wonder. During my time in Mexico over the years, I have absolutely experienced that wonder in so many places, so many wonderful things, landscape, architecture, history, food, people, everything, right? I think that's only natural. We come to a country as a foreigner and we want to see the positive things. We want to see the good things. That's absolutely what I've experienced over the years. I have to admit, I have fallen foul of the YouTuber thing of kind of pandering in a little way. Let's be honest, you know, this is amazing, that's amazing. We all do it, right? That brings me on to my after point, which I'll come on to in a little bit. We are surrounded by legends. Palacio de Bellas Artes. I think the top floor is an architecture museum. And to the right we have Torre Latinoamericano. I've been up the top. I did a video up there. You can go right up the top and have amazing views. And over here you have the not so hidden gem of the Sears little balcony bit up there. Again, I've been up there too. You can have a coffee and have spectacular views of Bellas Artes. OMG to the max. Right, we've passed that iconic central, you know what I mean, the crossing, zebra crossing. We're heading into Centro Historico and the Zócalo. If you are someone who is not great with lots of people being around, like me, you might be a little bit uncomfortable if you're a little bit anxious. So just to keep that in mind, let's cross. When you come to the end of that street, you are in a true legend. Every time I come back here, I'm like, wowzers, this is kind of where it all began. The Zócalo, not the Zócalo. That's what I said in the beginning. That's how you would say it in English, well, British English anyway. Metropolitan Cathedral. Over there, the flag may or may not be up. It's not up today. And of course, for me and many thousands, this central square holds many special memories. I was here for El Grito in 2018, for Independence Day in mid-September, with the call of El Grito over there from, at the time, the last president, not the current one. And you know, that's an iconic occasion to attend if you're in Mexico. Churros. No gracias, amigo. It's getting a bit windy. This cathedral is probably one of my favourites in the whole of Mexico. It's just so wonderfully designed, isn't it? Look, intricate detail, and inside is also beautiful. Again, I did an old video in there. You can check that out in my Mexico playlists. So we're heading down here now off the Zócalo to a place where I'm going to take you right back to the beginning. That video I mentioned, I think it was that one, I had some food up here, and the dish I had has become probably one of the most well-known legacy characters, OG since day one. It begins with G. I think you can guess what it is. Let's hope that place is still there. I'm pretty sure it was down here somewhere as the street starts to go down a little bit up there. Right, I think it's up here. I swear if it's closed, I will scream so loud you will hear me all the way in Lake Chapala, wherever the fuck that is. Brilliant! I swear it was this place. It is 6 o'clock. What did I expect? Right, there must be food somewhere. Okay, gorditas con frijoles y queso may not be happening, but tacos al pastor definitely is. Hola. Okay, we might have copyrighted music, but whatever. It's so funny when I come to Mexico City and have al pastor or something. I feel like a first timer again. I said about in a previous video, I think it was in Obregón, how I felt so much like comfortable 100% ordering food or just living in Mexico. But whenever I come back here, it's like I'm a novice again. That was the wrong choice of words, David. It's the Last Supper. Limón, verde, rojo. Brilliant. Have I been here before? I don't think I have. There are all these old pictures of Mexico City up on the wall. Cerveceria y taqueria. I am so ravenous, I could eat a decomposing Mexi dog in Torreon. I probably won't do that. Instead, I will have longaniza. I will have al pastor con cilantro y cebolla y limón y salsas. The classic. Sorry about the terrible angle. Why change the habit of a lifetime? I have got a light bulb box that's randomly on the table, but it doesn't really work as a tripod. If there was one icon which could return, if it wasn't Gorditas, it has to be al pastor or longaniza, which I've probably had maybe about 10 million times in Mexico and maybe about 400 times in videos. So let's tuck in al pastor. Provecho. It's a bit cold, to be honest. Probably because I was taking all these shots beforehand. Brilliant. I'm really going to miss this taste. Yum. Onto longaniza. Basically just like sausage. It's the best. That one is with rojo. That one is with rojo. It's brilliant. I forgot to put limon on it. And of course, you have to do this. Face to the taco. So of course, that was a truly awesome Last Supper, as per Jesus. Yeah, so that was great. Pastor, longaniza, and it was great to see the preparation of it at the front, as always, with the big hulk of meat. So on to after. I mentioned about pandering to Mexicans. It happens. But I think the thing I've felt, having been here for so long on and off over the years, you do see the negatives of Mexico, and that's okay, because it kind of makes it a real country, not just a tourist location, because every country's like that. Every country has the good, bad and the ugly, and especially having stayed in places for extended periods such as Obregón, Torreón, Iztapalapa, etc., you notice things, annoying things, frustrating things, bad things, which I think every Mexican would agree with. No Mexican wants to sit there listening to someone saying how amazing Mexico is all the time and not acknowledging that it isn't perfect. You know, and that's one thing I've tried to do over the years in Mexico, is highlight the real Mexico rather than the one which is only portrayed in many YouTube videos, and I think that's something which is important to do. That doesn't mean that I'm going away from Mexico this time after 8 times with a negative impression. Absolutely not. Definitely not, 100%. What I am going away with though is much more awareness of what Mexico is like for someone who lives here. Obviously it could never be the same because I wasn't born here, I didn't grow up here. So I can only have an element of that. But I feel like after all these years, I think I finally got that. So, muchas gracias Mexico. I'm gonna cry. So that's it from Mexico City. And indeed that is it from Mexico. I can't believe I just said that. Or is it? Emphasis on the words, or is it? You will see what's coming in the future. And I was hoping to get one last shot of this iconic crossing, but as per usual in Mexico, I've missed it. But before we go, are you ready for one last Mexi icon? I know I am. It's time to get back on the CDMX Metro. Shocked and surprised? Not on my watch. In about 9 hours, I'm getting on a plane to Dallas, Texas, Rome, Italy, and Belgrade, Serbia, for my final series in Serbia. Last year's was iconic, and I'm hoping this year's will be as well. Adios, Mexico. See you next time.